Donald Trump has launched his re-election campaign, and he's doing so in a rally in Orlando, Florida. Now, right before this rally is supposed to take place, he has decided to tweet something kind of questionable because he hasn't really given details into how he's gonna do this or how he's even gonna fund this. He says, quote, "Next week, ICE will begin the process of removing the millions of illegal aliens who have illicitly found their way into the United States. They will be removed as fast as they come in. Mexico, using their strong immigration laws, is doing a very good job of stopping people long before they get to our southern border. Guatemala is getting ready to sign a safe third agreement. The only ones who won't do anything are the Democrats in Congress. They must vote to get rid of the loopholes and fix asylum. If so, border crisis will end quickly." So essentially he's saying, I'm gonna get ICE to find thousands of undocumented immigrants in the country and do mass deportations.
No, not thousands, millions. That's what he said. So look, this is problematic if either one of these fact patterns is true. One is Trump is not lying, and he's gonna use the ISIS Gestapo to do millions of raids across the country. And that would be insane, incredibly expensive. It would uproot our entire society. And I know some of the right wingers like, yes, finally vengeance is ours. It would also-
It would destroy our economy. Let's just keep it, let's keep it real. So go ahead. First of all, look, the reason why I started this story by mentioning his re-election campaign is because this is all about his re-election campaign. This is all about the fact that he's been a complete and utter failure in his presidency. He hasn't accomplished anything. He hasn't accomplished anything when it comes to healthcare. He hasn't accomplished anything when it comes to building the wall at the southern border, even though he lies to his voters and pretends as if he has accomplished something there. He hasn't accomplished anything other than incredibly unpopular, massive tax cuts for the wealthy. And so right before he does this rally in Orlando, Florida, he's thinking to himself, well, I gotta give him something, so I'm gonna go ahead and put out this tweet promising to do mass deportations of millions of people in America, when in reality, ICE has come out and said, we haven't been contacted about this, we have no idea what's going on. Of course, people are now trying to clean up Trump's mess because this is what he does. He goes on Twitter and he announces policies that he's gonna go through with, which of course he has no intention of going through with, if you ask me, and hasn't even consulted with anyone in his administration or in the federal government about it. So this is, he's a one-trick pony. He's going back to what he attempted to do or what he successfully did in his last election. And he's hoping that fear-mongering about migrants is gonna do the trick. But I just want everyone who's in favor of these mass deportations to stop and think for a second what this means, right? Because it's not cut and dry. It's not undocumented immigrants bad, we deport them and everything in America will be good then. No, that is a stupid black and white way of thinking about it.
Yeah, and we've told you a number of times, undocumented immigrants commit less crime than natural-born citizens, and they actually pay more in taxes. So they're all the things that you hear from Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham about how they're sucking off of us, and this is unacceptable. No, they pay into payroll tax and never get it back. They pay the sales tax and don't benefit from it, and the list goes on and on. They put billions of dollars into their economy. So now, the second hypothetical is more likely, which is what Anna's point is, that he's lying. But think about it, this is not huge headlines. This is just a small story today out of many stories that everybody's covering. It's like ho hum, of course, the president is a massive liar, says wild, outlandish things as American policy, and no one takes the president seriously because we know that he's a pathological liar. That's the state we're in, and we've all gotten used to it. That's the new normal. Well, the emperor has no clothes. He's a madman. And look, if you do it with, sorry Anna, if you do it with domestic policy, okay, you just wait him out. Okay, he's an idiot, he's a liar, he's not gonna do any of that. We're just gonna move on. Everybody knows the president's the biggest liar there is, okay? Okay, but when you do it in foreign policy, you could accidentally start wars. So it is deeply problematic.
Well, what I wanna know is whether his base is tired of Trump lying to them constantly, right? Like, are you guys tired of him exploiting things that you're upset about or enraged about and using it as a way to get himself reelected? He's lying to you. He's about to do this rally, so the night before he puts out a tweet claiming that he's gonna do mass deportations.
Okay, let's do this. Let's ask you guys, okay? So right now, whenever you ask MAGA guys at any given moment, hey, do you agree with Trump? They always say yes. Now, Trump contradicts himself constantly, so I don't know which Trump they're agreeing to. So let's go ahead of time, okay, and say, hey guys, you say if we're wrong that Trump is an honest man and he will follow through on his promises and he didn't get elected just to give giant tax cuts for the rich, that he's for the little guy, he's for you guys, and he's against immigrants because he knows that that's hurting the economy or whatever it is that you believe. So are you gonna go on the record and say, yes, Trump is actually going to deport millions of immigrants? Okay, and when he doesn't do that, will you then come back and go, oh, okay, I was wrong. It turns out Trump's a liar and you guys were right? Or are you just gonna say, I'm gonna pretend that they were deported? What? I can't understand you guys. We don't talk the same language. So we talk in logic, reason, facts, and you talk in, I don't care. Trump makes me feel good. He makes me feel good. No. I'm back in charge.
I mean, that's what it's really about, I think. I think it's about having a leader who will fearmonger and say terrible, demeaning things about groups of people who his voters just don't like. For them, that apparently is enough, which is so sad because you should demand better. And when I say demand better, I'm not talking about a president who actually follows through with mass deportations, because as we've laid out, it would actually be terrible for our economy. But why don't we elect a leader who actually cares about our economic issues, right? The economic injustice in the country, because he certainly campaigned on that. He certainly campaigned pretending like he cared about the economic frustrations of middle America, but all he's done is exacerbate those frustrations by giving massive tax cuts to the wealthy. And he's also pushing for certain measures to cut government programs, which of course are gonna disproportionately hurt people in middle America living in poverty.
So he's just giving you what you want, and it's kind of sad. He's giving you fear and hatred, and you love it. And you don't really care about whether he follows through or doesn't follow through, whether he's a pathological liar, whether he's even lying to you. You say, as long as he tells me pretty little stories about how scary the others are, immigrants and Muslims and Latinos and all these other trans people going into my bathroom, it's so scary. Oh, as long as he tells me pretty little lies or pretty big lies or ugly big lies, then I'm happy. Okay, all right, then I guess you're doing this based on your feelings, and it's actually the worst kind of feelings, the worst side of humanity. I hope you're proud of it, but at the end of the day, he ain't gonna do any of that. All he's gonna do is give tax cuts for the rich, because the facts don't care about your feelings. Like what you see? Click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to ring the bell to never miss another video from the Young Turks.